Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Today what we're going to work on is doing some cleanup on my welding table that I made out of an old grill that I had actually caught on fire several times and decided it wasn't safe to use that grill anymore for a grill. So now I use it as a welding table / welding cart. I don't know. I'll pull it out and show everybody what it looks like. So this is what it currently looks like. So you can tell I got a huge mess on it. That's part of the problem, is I don't really have anywhere on it to store all the materials that I have and stuff. I mean, as you can see, I've got the welder down there. It's kind of hard to get to all the controls on it, which I think we're gonna fix that today. Got my gloves and some other miscellaneous junk down there. Got my grinders and cutoff wheels and stuff there. Storage for the cutoff wheels. My jacket, the torch, some of my tools, and then up here is just a mess. This is where I normally weld on, and you can see I just have been piling junk on it, so let's fix that first. Okay, now that we got that cleaned off, so you can see this is just the grates from the grill, and I just weld right on top of those. Works pretty well, sturdy enough. The only issue I have with that right now is I bought all these clamps over here thinking I could fit them through the slots. Yeah, not so much. So I gotta figure out something to do with that to be able to actually use the clamps on the surface. I'd also like to have a place to put both my welding helmet and my grinding shield on here. I think I'm gonna cut off, I left this back on there thinking it'd be nice to have that there to keep when I'm grinding. It'll keep the spatter down and everything, but after using it for a little while, it doesn't seem to really do me much good, so I don't think I'm gonna keep that on there. And then I think I'm also gonna, so I have all this extra stuff that I've been using to practice my welding with and things like that. So I have this little like shelf. It's actually from like a AV rack thing. So I think I'm gonna somehow attach that somewhere on here so I can put all those materials on it and hold them, so I don't just have them laying on the top, so I can keep the top clean. And then also this little shelf that I put down there, it doesn't work as well as I had hoped, so I may try and figure out a new way of building that shelf, and I may use some of that stuff to kind of do that. So let's get the rest of this stuff off and get started on my plans. Also, another thing that I want to do is, you can see the cables from the grinders and stuff just kind of hang down. I think what I want to do is space them out a little more and then put some like hooks to hang the cables on. So we'll that's one thing we'll kind of look at today too. So let's get started making this a little better. so what I'm gonna work on now is I think I'm gonna add some hooks on this to be able to hang my cables for my grinders on. Get this stuff out of here so I don't melt any of it. Tray. So all I'm gonna have to do is go through here and clean this surface off, get it nice and shiny metal so I can weld some hooks on it. I think what I'm gonna do is I got some of this like U-channel. I think what I'm gonna do is just cut off some slices of that to use as my hooks and then weld them onto here. So I'll work on that now. I think I'm just gonna throw you on time lapse for this and then show you the end result. Well, that was fun. Just set off the circuit breaker. Whoops. Apparently having a heater and the welder going at the same time is probably a bad idea. Lessons learned. But we were able to get our hooks on there, and I think it cleans it up pretty nicely now. Now I can just hang my cable, hang my grinder. Next cable and next grinder. And I know some of you are asking why I have so many grinders. Each one has a different attachment. This one has a cutoff wheel, this one has a flat disc right now, but normally I have a grinder wheel on it. And this one has a wire wheel. It's kind of a pain to switch between all the different discs that I have. So that's why I have 3. Also, these things were only like $9 at Harbor Freight, so it didn't make sense not to buy multiples. Especially seeing as they're probably just going to break at some point. So, alright, on to the next thing. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to work on is I've got welding helmet and grinding shield that I use that I normally just put on the top of the table, but I don't like storing them there. They're just kind of in the way there. So what I'm going to do is try and find some place to put some hooks and have them hanging from some hooks. So I'm going to work on that now. You also notice I switched jackets. I realized I hadn't been wearing my welding jacket, which the jacket I had on works for welding as well. It's just, you know, I have an actual welding jacket. I might as well wear that, right? So I think I'm just gonna build some hooks out of the same thing again and do the same deal.
It's a 16 buff in the dark.
Alright, so I just threw these hooks on here for doing the for holding the helmet there, and then one here for doing the shield, and then these are what the hooks look like for the wires. I realized I didn't get a close-up of that earlier, so That's that, and then you can see where I cut off that top earlier. So now I have these tools that all need a place to sit. These two brushes, the chipping hammer, and these wrenches for doing the grinders all used to sit down in this channel, but now that I've got the grinders kind of all taking up that space, I really don't have a place for them. But what I think I'm going to do is I used to have this bar here that used to sit back here like so, and I would put those pliers in the little hole in the end and then hang my jacket on it. But honestly, that was before I had the handle put on, so I can always just hang my jacket on the handle, and I don't really need a hook to hang my jacket up anymore. So I think what I'm going to do is potentially cut up that bar, because I think all the tools will fit without falling through. Yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut that up. These wrenches, actually, I'm just going to throw in the end there because they're fine there. And I don't think they'll go in that tube just fine. So really I just need these, two brushes and the pliers to sit in that. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll get those, get that pipe cut up, just get little rings of it, I think. And then I think I'm just going to weld them to the front here. Then those three things will just slot in there. So that's what we're going to work on now. Alright, so here's those rings that I welded on. I was having a hard time getting those to penetrate. Honestly, I'm not that good of a welder, so it's kind of ironic that I'm building a welding table, but I'm actually getting a lot of practice doing this, so it's kind of helping out. So over here, when I was cutting earlier, I kind of accidentally cut off a little too much, so I just kind of patched it up. It's not real pretty, but it's holding, so that's all that matters. I had like a shard of metal just kind of sticking out, and didn't really want that because I didn't want to be getting poked by it all the time. And then I have this little thing. This is from an old satellite dish that was on my house, this little metal piece. So I'm using that to hold the MIG gun, and I just had it bolted in, and it would just slop around all of the time, so I just put a little tack weld there. Again, nothing pretty, but it's holding, so that's all that really matters. So I think that's where I'm going to end off the video for today. Clearly not done. I got some more things to do, like still need to figure out what I'm going to do with all that. And then also still want to fix this bottom tray so that it's a little more sturdy. And then also I think I want to see if I can do something about this panel, which is actually adding a lot of rigidity, so I kind of don't want to remove it, but it also makes it really hard to get to the welder. So I might just like cut a hole in it or something, or figure out something else, some other kind of brace maybe even. I mean, I got enough metal lying around that I can probably brace it up, but for right now it's looking pretty good. So yeah, in the next video we'll probably finish this up I think we'll throw some more hooks on it and some other little things that will help me get it a little better. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.